Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Yay. Christmas is here. And so is the Christmas filter coffee blend.
My name is Steve Layton, and I travel the world finding amazing and delicious coffee for you to drink at home. Some make coffee difficult to understand and complicated, but here it's my job to make it easy and fun and tell you what's in my mug.
So Christmas time, I love Christmas. I really don't love Christmas because you guys buy way too much coffee from us at Christmas and make us very busy. But we always do something silly with Christmas. You may have seen the Christmas crackers that we've got out there. And you may see with the espresso blend and the filter blend that occasionally you might find one of these. If you do, and you Instagram, Twitter, or the Facebook, don't tell me you haven't got one of them, because I know somebody will go, I don't go on Facebook, I don't go on the Twitter. Well, you'll have one of them, and you take a picture of the bag and say, Merry Christmas has been. You will get a signed copy of my book with any inscription you want in it at all. There's only a limited number of these, because you can tell they're hand done by very, very clever Glyn, who works with us downstairs in Dispatch. So all you need, photo of that on the social media, and you will get a copy of my book. Isn't that lovely? So it wouldn't be Christmas now without the Christmas blend, would it? It just, like 12 years of doing this is absolutely crazy. 12 years that we've been doing this one. And I think this is possibly the best one that we've ever done. I'm going to say that, aren't I? But I do feel it is. Like every year we learn a little bit more about trying to find these. And when I'm buying coffees, I tend to look for coffees that will work well in this blend. So it's only available through the month of December. So only when Father Christmas comes knocking on the door can you get that coffee. It is 60% Kenya Kariga Estate, AB, the washed from Brian, and 40% Ethiopian Mokanisa Balega washed, which is from Israel. And I think it is just amazing. The tasting notes of this coffee, just for me, are Christmas. So it's flowers, it's lemon rind, it's like white sugar, big bunch of flowers in the finish. It is an absolutely, like, that's Christmas for me. So yeah, let's go talk to Roaster Steve about how he roasted it. So I wanted to talk to you about why we blend coffees, because you know, single origins are delicious. We enjoy them and we love them. But blending really comes from an aim to have some consistency. So when you think of our red, white and black blends, they're made so every time you come back, you can expect the same things from those coffees, even though coffee is a seasonal product and turning over. So when you go to red, you know you're going to get something sweet and balanced and some acidity, but not too much. When you go to white, you're going to get lots of acidity, lots of brightness, maybe not so much body or sweetness. And with the black blend, you're going to get lots of body, but maybe not so much acidity. With this blend, it's been blended to give us something a little bit different, a little bit more acidity, maybe more closer to a white blend. So we've got the Kenya Kariga Estate from Brian that is high in acidity. And then we've got Ethiopian Mokanisa Balega washed, which is from Israel, which is also high in acidity. We've brought these two together and they end up giving something to each other. So they end up being more than the sum of their parts. It's kind of like, I don't know if you whiskey guys are out there, but like, single malts are fantastic, but if you just want an easy drinking whiskey, blended whiskies can bring you something different and something more balanced and rounded. So yeah, that's why we blend. So welcome to Steve's Fun Bag Challenge. Welcome, Roland.
Thanks, Steve.
This is really a dispatch challenge, but I've decided that we're going to open it up to everybody. So the aim of the game is you have three bags. You have to fill them to as close to 250 grams as you can, in as quick as you can. Your time will be, your time plus every gram you're over or under will be added to your time. Your current record is 1 minute 28. So that's our timekeeper over there. I'll wait to the timekeeper. So your time will start when I say go. You have a scoop, you have that. You ready? Do you understand?
I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go! Ooh. So what's his technique going to be? Is it speed or accuracy? We will see. Oh, it looks like a bit of both, actually. Although he's opening the bags very slow. You don't bag often, do you, Roland?
No, never.
Do you know who's winning as well?
Who's winning?
Me.
Do you bag often?
No! I thought that would just motivate you some more to win.
A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know Roland Gifford at the minute will be on the stings, you know, wishing you good luck being a fellow Roland. Ready? Are you? No?
No.
No. Oh, let's go for the accuracy. I think you're going to go 1 minute 27 just still, isn't it? Done. So what time do we get there, timekeeper?
54 seconds.
54 seconds. So that gives you 34 grams either way. Well, there's 31 grams gone. There is 23 grams gone. Oh, I think you're going to be bottom, Roland. This makes me happy. 70 grams over.
I'm just generous.
You are very generous. It is the season to be jolly, so I'm sure people will be very grateful if you gave them that much coffee, but that gives you a total score of 2 minutes 58, which puts Roland in?
Last place.
Last place. Oh, Roland. Well done for trying. It's like sports day all over again, isn't it?
Absolutely is.
Thank you very much, Roland.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to brew Chemex's two ways, because you may notice on the website I have two brew guides, Mark 1 and Mark 2. I'm going to show you Mark 2 while I'm brewing, and we'll be back in just a second.
Hello, and welcome to another of our brew guides. This time, we're looking at updating the Chemex. Now, you know I'm the king of Chemex, and I know all the best ways to get the best out of your brewer. But I've changed some of my thinking since we last spoke, so here's the updated one. Also, you can now get metal cone filters, so we're going to look at the changes here too. Now, you're going to need some things. First of all, of course, a Chemex, some Chemex papers or your metal cone filter, a kettle, some coffee beans, some scales, a cup, of course a grinder, and a timer. Step 1. Fold your paper into a cone and place it in the Chemex. Alternately, add the metal filter. In both cases, wash the filter through with water. This heats the Chemex and removes the paper taste or expands the holes in your metal filter. Step 2. Weigh out your beans. I use 65 grams per litre. This time I'm brewing with a 6 cup, so I'm going to use 32.5 grams to 500 mils of water. And for the metal filter, use 70 grams per litre, so 35 grams to 500 mils of water. Step 3. Grind your beans. For the paper filter, grind somewhere between filter and cavity air, so it feels like coarse to fine sand between the fingers. For the metal filter, go a little coarser, more like cavity air. Step 4. Empty out the water that's been heating your Chemex and add the coffee to the cone. Step 5. Place your Chemex on some scales to brew. Weighing water is much more accurate than by eye. For the paper filter, place around 125 grams of water at approximately 95 degrees C and wait for 30 seconds. Then add another 125 grams of water and wait 1 minute. Now add 125 grams of water, wait 30 seconds before adding the final 125 grams of water. For the metal filter, pour 100 grams of water every 30 seconds until all the water is added. You're aiming for the whole brew to be through in 3 to 4 minutes. Over 3 minutes is okay, but if it gets to 4 minutes, remove that filter, even if there's some water left. If the brew is too slow, coarsen that grind, and if it's too quick, fine it. Aim for 3 to 4 minutes. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this brew guide, and I hope you'll take a look at some of the others. And do remember, life is too short for bad coffee.
So this is the Mark II one, and this is the Mark I one. So I'm going to get some cups. I miss that mug. Haven't seen that for ages. And I'm going to pour a little bit into each and explain what the differences are. So this one is brewed with 65 grams of coffee to 500 mils of water, whereas this one is brewed with 60 grams of coffee to 500 mils of water. And the reason that I put less in here, I wanted to put more in, but as you'll see from the shot now, there's not so much space for the water doesn't wet all the grains at 60 grams. So if there's an extra 5 grams, it would be even worse. So with this, adding 125 grams as the first bit of water means that I can cover all of those grounds. You can also see that there's bubbles on the one to the right, which is the coffee degassing. And they talk about adding a little bit of water to coffee before you add more water as a bloom. And I don't think that that works. I don't think that has anything to do with the coffee because there's not enough water and there's not enough extraction. So that was the main reason for changing it. It was also to add the metal filters in there that I know a lot of you at home have started using. I don't like the metal filters so much. I'm much keener on the paper filters. I tend to get a much cleaner cup. So let's go into the original recipe one first of all. Now it's still good. It's still tasty and delicious. I still like that very much. In fact, you do get a lot of that lemon and the sugars come through. But of course, I've spent a long time thinking about this, and this one, for me, has more clarity. It's more clean, it's more sharp. All of the flavours are more focused. It's like putting on a pair of glasses, drinking this one compared to this one. Whereas this one is a little bit kind of blurry around the edges. This is much sharper and more distinct. So I'm definitely a fan of number 2. Listen, thank you so much for joining me. Like, this is Christmas. You should be spending it with your family and drinking lots of wine. And it's lovely to see you here. But go back and join the family, for God's sake. Looking forward to tasting the espresso blend with you next week. But do remember, Christmas is too short for bad coffee. Would you like some coffee?